Yo, what's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here from Darium's Pokemon, recording in my home studio, and I'm going to be trying out an Empoleon deck. Just whipped this thing up, so it is in the very early stages. I know I have not done a deck profile of this thing yet. I don't really believe in Empoleon. I have logged exactly one game with it. I have played just one game, and yes, the deck can be insane if your opponent just like plays into you, but if your opponent's not playing into what you're doing, it can just be really hard to steal games up, because if your opponent can just limit their bench. Just lost a game to an opponent who just kept one bench spot the whole time and then just ace a roll at every turn and then just kept chipping away at my Empoleons. And sure enough, maxed out at about 130 damage and just could not get there. That being said, if your opponent does fill their bench, oh yeah, you're doing a ton of damage. Now, there are some things you can do to try and get around that. You could play Captivating Pokepuff to try and catch opponents' Pokemon in their hand and bring them down into play. You could try playing Professor Kukui to try and catch your opponent off guard to where they think that they've mathed things out correctly with the amount of Pokemon that they've benched, but then you Kukui and you kind of sneak a quick one in there on them. I'm trying Professor Kukui in this list right now, and of course, since it is one of my decks, I am also playing Octillery in here, but I think Octillery just goes well with this deck. I mean, you play Brooklet Hill already to help get your Pokemon into play. Like, why not also play some copies of, why not also play some copies of Octillery? I mean, just to get Octillery out, and then you can draw and all that fun stuff. Fantastic. So this starting hand is not bad. Looks like I am playing against some sort of Lycanroc, probably Buzzwole Lycanroc deck, which I imagine that this is not a great matchup for me, especially if they're going first and they get to just like start off just kind of rolling with, if they get like a strong energy, Regirock into play, anything like that, they can just start steamrolling me pretty quickly. I'm only playing one copy of Vulpix in here, and that one copy of Vulpix is just to have an extra bench Pokemon, because really what with like 2 copies of Remoraid, 4 copies of Piplup, and one Tapu Lele, there's really not a ton of basic Pokemon to keep your bench filled at all times. So I wanted just one more copy of something, and I think Vulpix is obviously a good choice because you can just retreat most of your starters. I mean, almost everybody in the deck. Actually, yes, everybody in the deck has a retreat cost of 1, meaning that you can get a turn 1 retreat into Vulpix very easily. I am just messing around with this list right now, trying to get things to fit. I tried like bumping up the Brooklet Hill count a lot, so I'm playing like 3 Brooklet Hill right now, and I think I may have actually cut all of the Bridgets. So we're just trying to think. I had to fit the Kukuis in here somewhere. There's really not a ton of space in this deck for all the things that you need. So I will see how that ends up going. All right. Looks like my opponent's got a 2 energy Buzzwole. That's looking pretty scary. All right. Let's go ahead, start out by just Ultra Balling away the Choice Band and the Guzma there. And let's see what's in my deck. I got 4 Piplups, 3 Primplups, 3 Empoleons. I got a Lele. But like I said, I'd cut the Bridget. This seems bad. I probably should not have cut the Bridget. But hey, we're just testing. I mean, that's why we're here. We're testing, right? So we're just testing things out, seeing how it goes. Let's also just start out with an Ultra Ball here. Let's Ultra Ball away Kukui and water. Sure, why not? Let's just burn all these resources, get things going. Piplup, and then we're just going to end. And then if we hit a Brooklet Hill, I mean, who needs Bridget when you could draw like that? I mean, like, seriously, who needs Brooklet Hill? We're good to go. I mean, who needs Bridget? We got our 3 basics out, turn 1, getting a turn 1 beacon. Everything is looking a-okay. Let's just go ahead and do that. Maybe I should have saved the Aqua Patch. Probably should have saved the Aqua Patch, but that's fine. Do I have a rare candy in my hand? I do not. So I think that I'll just go for Octillery and for a Primplup, and then we'll just call that a day there. So we're just going to get these 2 guys. I fully anticipate that my opponent is going to be knocking out this Vulpix. I mean, with Lycanroc, there's even a pretty decent chance that they knock out this Piplup. This just seems like bad news written all over it. And you can see why I'm not totally hype on Empoleon. The deck just seems like maybe a little too slow when compared to some of the other bigger, badder threats in standard format like Buzzwole. My opponent, however, is just filling their bench. Like, they do not care. They're going to take out that Piplup turn 1. They're not concerned. They are going to go ahead and just knuckle impact that thing, I guess. So that's cool. That's fine. I'm not worried about it. I mean, they're also going to get an insane dangerous rogue off on me, which is not great, but that's fine. Oh, they're absorptioning. Why would they absorption and attach a fighting to Rockruff? I don't really know. They are going all in, folks. They're going all in. So this is fine. All right, we're taking another turn here. We're going to use your Brooklet Hill. Going to go ahead and get our own Piplup here and probably rescue Stretcher, my other Piplup. Put a Pokemon from my discard pile into my hand. Yep, let's get that other Piplup out here. And we're going to evolve into Prinplup, wherever that one Piplup is. And we're going to evolve into Octillery. And we should probably just Cynthia. My opponent's got a 4-card hand and 5 prizes remaining. So we'll just Cynthia here. And I don't think I want to make the same mistake that I made last time. However, I don't really have any. I don't have any free retreaters in this deck, though. So I do need to play like a little bit. Let's see, this thing's got 90 hit points. My opponent could just Knuckle Impact. That would be like really frustrating if they Knuckle Impacted my Piplup. So like that's not good. I probably need to attach the water energy somewhere so that I can get. I'll attach the water energy to the Piplup, I think. So that way, if they take out the Prinplup, I'll put both. I'll get 2 different spots. That way, I'm like safe, right? If I put one on the Prinplup, one on the Piplup, that way I'm like mostly covered. And then I'm just going to go ahead and Beacon, and we're going to get 2 Empoleons. So by putting the 2 waters, one on the Piplup, one on the Prinplup, my opponent can't possibly knock out both of those next turn. So that no matter what, I'm going to be able to promote and attack this following turn. So that is good, but my opponent is very aggressively taking things out. Hopefully they just do not get a Lycanroc this turn. If I can keep them from getting Lycanroc out, then that would mean that, oh, well, here he comes. So my opponent's going to have their choice of either one of my boys down here, either Prinplup or Piplup. They're going to take the Prinplup. That is totally fine. And they're probably going to Knuckle Impact that thing. Now, do they have a supporter for turn? They do. They're going to end me. Oh, no, you're ending me out of my Rare Candy and Empoleon. How rude. That is frustrating. It's fine. Got it back. So I could do that. I can bench the Remoraid. That's good. Hopefully I can Brooklet Hill for one more thing. My opponent has already used their... Oh, no. This is really bad, guys. Parallel City is just so bad for this deck. It looks like my opponent is playing like my version of Buzzwole Lycanroc with the Parallel Cities. Parallel City is so good. So kudos to my opponent for playing Parallel City. It's definitely a good card, but also because it's very frustrating. Let's see. I can Rare Candy into Empoleon. That's good. My opponent does not have a threat that can immediately knock out my Empoleon. So that is like really good for me, and I definitely have that going. Now, I can Kukui. If I Kukui, I'm doing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 7. Oh, I knock it out with Kukui. Do I? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 17. Oh, I'm definitely knocking it out with Kukui. So let's Abyssal Hand first. The Kukui is coming in clutch here. As you can see, let's see. I got another Rare Candy Empoleon. Oh my gosh, I do not have the energy. I need the energy. I need the energy. So what do I do here? I think I just am going to hope that I hit the energy off of my Kukui. And if I don't hit the energy off my Kukui, oh, that seems so irresponsible. I think probably my best play, I could Ultra Ball, get another guy out, and then Cynthia. And if I just Cynthia and hope I hit a Brooklet Hill, I think I have a better chance of hitting a Brooklet Hill off of Cynthia. I have 2 in deck. I don't know. Maybe the draw of 2 getting me a water. I have 5 waters in deck. I guess I kind of had to take a chance there. So let's just hope I hit a Brooklet Hill. My opponent doesn't have anything that knocks me out right away. So Let's just thin the deck, get this guy into play here, and then hope we hit a water, a Brooklet Hill and a water. Oh, we got it. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so we got the Brooklet Hill. Gonna go get a Piplup here, and we're getting the knockout. Finally, some retribution for the whopping that my opponent has been giving me here. So that is great. I'm doing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 19. I don't need to put the Lele down yet. Let's just total command for knockout. Finally getting something done. So that is good. Great. Now my opponent does not have anything. I prized waters. Wow, too. So really lucky that I hit that off the Cynthia. The odds of that were not super high. So that was definitely a rip that I had to pull off. But my opponent, they got this Lycanroc here. If they attach a strong energy to it, that's 110, 130, 150. I have 168 points, so they would need to attach a strong and also get Regirock into play. Oh no, say it's not so. Are they gonna seriously do the Regirock? Oh my gosh, is there no mercy? This is fine. They're just using my Brooklet Hill, going to get their Regirock. If they have a strong energy in hand, this Empoleon is going down to a Claw Slash. They don't even need. Oh no, they don't have it. They attached a basic fighting. So that's only 110, 130, 140. They're just going to Guzma up my Octillery. No, not the Octillery. Oh no, have mercy. This is fine. I've got Rare Candy and Empoleon in my hand. I also have Brooklet Hill out, so I can go get somebody else. Hopefully, unless I've prized something that I'm not aware of. So let's go ahead and check out and see what I got. All right, Brooklet Hill here. I've got nothing. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm running out of basics way too fast. This is not good. And I don't even think I have my other Rescue Stretcher is like prized that, or I got rid of it. So let's see here. What did I... my other Rescue Stretcher is prized. I was considering playing 3 Rescue Stretcher. That just seemed like a lot. So what? My damage is capped out at... do I have a Kikuian deck still? No, both my Kikuis are down. Oh no. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 19. I'm doing 190 damage. I am just short. That's nothing I can do about it either. This is just the way it's going to go. So I'm just going to be short, and I'm pretty sure that's it. Let's see. I could Guzma something. Let's Guzma something. I'm going to Guzma. That's it. Let's do that. I already have Guzma in my hand. I'm sorry, guys. It's late. I'm doing this wrong. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and Guzma up that thing, and we're going to retreat the Remoraid here. And let's just go ahead, retreat. I'm not even mad about having the other Guzma, like this is fine. And we're going to total command the Regirock for knockout because we can knock that thing out. So we're just going to pretend like getting the second Guzma was intentional because, I mean, honestly, that will win me the game if I could just Guzma on the Rockruff. And not on the Rockruff, Guzma on the Lele will win me the game if my opponent does not knock this out. So really it was just, heads up play. But Empoleon's getting here. My opponent is, however, kind of more or less playing into my deck. I mean, they really are. They've benched a lot of extra stuff that they didn't necessarily need to bench. Well, they are going to go ahead and slap me with the N here. I don't think that they'll be able to pull out of this one. They don't have Octillery in play. The Lycanroc, I mean, they would need another strong. If they have another strong, is 110, 130, 150. They need a Regirock as well. They need the strong Regirock to knock out Empoleon. I doubt they're going to get it. If I can just, and maybe draw into something, anything, just to be able to get a final attack off on this Lycanroc, that'd be great. We did get, I know I don't have any basics in there. I need to hit my Rescue Stretcher. All right, so we did hit a Sycamore here, so we're just going to go ahead and play that. I need to get an energy desperately onto one of these guys here, so I can do that. I also got Rescue Stretcher, so that's great. I think at this point, I probably... Let's see, I could Rescue Stretcher 3 things back into the deck. Just give me some longevity. I'm not really in danger of losing this game, I think. So let's just put... no, okay, let's put a Pokemon from our discard pile into our hand. Let's just get the Octillery back. And I think if I just get the Octillery back then I'm kind of protected from a late game end. And then all I need to do is hit Guzma. And if I hit Guzma, then I will be able to knock out this Lycanroc on the following turn. I have a charged up Empoleon here on the bench. So that's going to be the game plan. Just hope that we can just two-shot this Lycanroc. That my opponent does not get anything going as far as if they get like a benched threat, like if this Rockruff turns into a Lycanroc with 3 energy and then knocks me out, and then they also end me in the same turn, like that could be a little bad. But otherwise, I'm feeling okay. I should be able to clear this one out. All right, and my opponent scoops. So that was pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and throw, you know what? I'm just going to throw down another game with this. We're going to go one more and see how we do with the Empoleon deck that is not currently running any Bridgets. So we're going to try one more time. And, you know, I mean, it went okay that game. I think this deck, at the very least, is not horrible. It's not like the worst deck I've ever played. It definitely can be a little tough for some decks to deal with. 160 hit point, non-EX, non-GX is nothing to scoff at. Like, that's definitely serious, and it's pretty easy to stream the 2 energy on it. Once you kind of get your energy flowing, so long as you're dropping an energy per turn, you're usually pretty fine. So let's see. Yeah, started 2 Priplups here. I have found that's the second. That was the second game that I've ever played with Empoleon, and I have found that I am running out of basics. So I'm playing, like I said, just the 4 Piplup, the 4 Piplup, a Tapu Lele, 2 Remoraid's, and a Vulpix, and 2 Rescue Stretchers. And even with all of that, I'm still finding ways to run out of Piplups. And the reason I decided to cut Bridget is because what you guys see here, like I'm only running 1 Lele in my deck right now. And with only 1 Lele, the odds of you getting that 1 Lele on turn 1 are not like super high. So I could have bumped up the Lele count, but I didn't really feel like doing that. Because what's the point bumping up the Lele count? Then I just have more liabilities on my bench. What I want the deck to operate is as a non-EX, non-GX deck. So I want it to be just Empoleons and Octilleries on the field. That's like my ideal board position. So let's get this game started here. I think I just attached to the bench and then Sycamore. Unfortunately, there's not really any better play than that. Let's just try to get some other guys out. And we did hit our turn 1 Brooklet Hill, so that's great. Let's just go ahead and Brooklet Hill for, what do you say, a Remoraid? That's probably fine. We could get our Remoraid out. I did not get, I guess I could have, I probably should have attached that water to the active position and retreated it so that I could have banked on getting the Vulpix out on the first turn. Let's see, but yeah, I didn't really plan for that, so I think I will just get another Piplup for now. That's fine. So let's just do that. Turn 2, I can rare candy into Empoleon, so that's good. We do have a turn 2 Empoleon going on here. And if my opponent does not knock out my benched Piplup, then I do have the opportunity to get a turn 2 attack as well. Like I said, I don't have any room in the deck for a free retreater right now. A free retreater would be really good because then obviously free retreaters are really, really good with the Aqua Patch. I just have not found a space for it yet. I'm kind of banking on my opponent not actually getting this knockout because these Zoroark Lycanroc decks, they just don't play a lot of Floatstone. Like maybe they play 1. I don't really think that my opponent's going to hit it. I guess my opponent could hit DCE and Lycanroc, and then they could just do the heavy lifting here. Oh, they got the Lycanroc. Are they going to bring up the Piplup, knock it out with the Lele? Yep, that's what they're going to do. They're going to DCE, knock it out with the Lele. So that's pretty good. That or they're just hoping that they knock it out with the Lele, hoping they get the DCE. I don't know. We'll see. Did they get it? I got the DC. Just drop it. Go ahead. Show it to me. It's fine. Just make this matchup just much more difficult for me to do. If you don't knock out the Piplup, I'm home free. This is great. I'm in a great position. 1 puzzle. Is that double puzzle or 1 puzzle? Are you getting 1 puzzle? 2 puzzles? 2 puzzles at the same time? Oh, the 1 puzzle maneuver. Do you have the DCE or no? Show me. Did you miss it? I hope he did. I hope you missed it. Oh my gosh, the anticipation's killing me. I'm just sitting here waiting with my one Piplup active, and I'm thinking like I'm either going to be able to attack or I'm not. So, definitely stressing me out a little bit. It's fine though. Even if my opponent were to knock out the Piplup, I do. Oh, they did not get it. They got a strong energy on that Lycanroc though. Let's get after it now. Okay, so I can bench the Vulpix. I'm going to go get a Remoraid as well. Start to set that guy up. I can also Ultra Ball away what? Oh, I don't want to Ultra Ball away 2 waters. What if I whiff one? Ew. I probably should have Ultra Balled away the Vulpix, but I didn't want to do that either. It all seemed bad. Let's see here. I can't. Oh, geez. I could just Ultra Ball away. Oh, goodness. I kind of messed this one up, didn't I? All right. We're going to have to Ultra Ball away the 2 waters and just hope that we don't whiff. All right. That's the game plan here. I don't really think that there's another... Why am I having to Ultra Ball? I did not have to Ultra Ball at all. What am I thinking? Oh my gosh, it's late, guys. I'm really losing my mind. I thought I had to Ultra Ball for the Empoleon, but okay, forgive me. We're gonna rip it anyway, and then we're gonna feel like a genius when I just rip the water here, and then we're gonna be like, wow, Mahone, how did you know you were gonna hit the water off that end? And I'm just gonna be like, because it's fine. It's totally not midnight on a Thursday. We got it. We're fine. Didn't have to pay for that at all. So we're good to go. Actually made the better play. Getting some waters into the discard pile for our Aqua Patches. And we're going to be totally cool. Let's see. How much am I doing now? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I'm short even if I do get one more Pokemon on the bench here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. If I had hit the choice band there, I would have got it, but we didn't. So that's fine. We're just gonna have to total command this thing. My opponent is probably going to Dangerous Rogue this next turn. That's gonna hurt. So, and if they can Acerola Dangerous Rogue, then that's really gonna hurt. That is just not going to be pretty. I'm probably just, going to be in a rough spot after that. Maybe I'll go up with Vulpix and Beacon or something. I don't really know if we got a way out of this one. It's feeling kind of rough early on. About to have 5 energy in the discard pile, but that's okay. I'm running 10 energy right now, which feels like a pretty good amount for an Empoleon deck. This is only my 3rd game with Empoleon. So, I'm kind of learning as you guys are learning too. This is my very first draft of the list, but I'm generally just kind of underwhelmed with the damage output. Sometimes you get that perfect knockout, you just barely got it. Then other times it's I don't know, seems some things just seem way too close for comfort. So I think that let's see, what are they getting? Mallow. Okay, so they're gonna go ahead and stack Floatstone on top of their deck with Mallow. Then they're gonna retreat and then Dangerous Rogue my Empoleon, and that's really gonna hurt my feelings. But that being said, after they're done with this, they will not be able to knock out another Empoleon because they are going to be stuck at doing 130 or 150 with their Lycanroc. Unlike my last matchup, this deck does not play Regirock, so they're not going to be playing Regirock. They're not going to be able to knock out another Empoleon with that thing. Looks like they got DC Floatstone, so they do have a backup attacker as well. That hurts. Dangerous Rogue GX, that's fine. I mean, they only are really Dangerous Roguing onto a non-EX, so it's really not the end of the world. And I could just go ahead and continue to set up my board position with some good old Beacon action. I don't really necessarily see a lot of things here. And I could get rid of these Cynthias. I don't really need those. Let's just get rid of these Cynthias, sure. And let's get Octillery. And ending my opponent kind of feels bad, but I guess I probably should have looked at my opponent's hand before I just got rid of those Cynthias. So this is fine. All right, let's Abyssal Hand. And let's see, we've got Guzma, Empoleon. So I could just Rare Candy into Empoleon here. And I don't think Guzma is the best play, so let's just go ahead and end. And then let's hope that we hit a Water Energy, and we got to be running low at the... hey, there we go. All right, not complaining. Got ourselves a few waters there. That's fine. So I'll just attach to my Empoleon. And then I'm just going to beacon, grab a Piplup, and probably a Remoraid. I don't know, we just need some benched Pokemon here to kind of flesh things out. Let's also get the Remoraid. And then while I only got one Rescue Stretcher in deck, oh boy, things are looking a little rough here. But we got Kukui in hand. That's pretty good. I got myself some waters in hand too, so I can maybe bench some things. We're doing what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. With Kukui, I think I knock it out. If I fill my bench up, if my opponent does not what are they gonna do? They're gonna hit into my Empoleon for not enough. I'm pretty sure this is 150, right? 110, 130, 150. I don't know. Looks like they're hitting my Empoleon for not quite enough. So that is a little frustrating. But if I can hit 150. All right, we're good to go. This is fine. Let's get ourselves these bench Pokemon out here. So we're going to get Piplup out here. We're going to get Remoraid out here. Then what? I'm doing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Kukui's 200. Ha! Next level. They had no idea what we were cooking there. They had no idea what the rock was cooking. That I had Kukui ready to go. All right, but we ended up getting the choice band anyway, so it wasn't completely necessary. And then let's also Ultra Ball away, probably Rare Candy and I feel like I don't really value my supporters that high right now. And let's get ourselves another Empoleon. I definitely feel like I want to get an Aqua Patch this turn. So that's what I'm digging for, because if I can get an Aqua Patch played, then that means that I'm going to be ready to attack next turn even when this thing goes down. So that was the intention there. We got the Aqua Patch. We dug for it. We got it. So now I've got a backup Empoleon, which is really important. And I'm knocking out this Lycanroc clean for 200 damage. So that's really good. We got it. Now, finally, we're ahead of the game now. Now my opponent's in a bad spot because they don't have anything to deal with these huge Empoleons. I've kind of stabilized a little bit. I only got 12 cards left in my deck, so my resources aren't the most high, but I still have a Kukui left in my deck. I have 3 choice bands. I have 1 in play and 2 other choice bands in deck. So I should be able to stabilize here and be okay. I got my 1 energy on my benched Empoleon, which is that needed to happen because things would have just gotten super awkward if I didn't have that, because I don't have a free retreater and I don't have room in this list for Floatstones. So that is good that we got that going. And you can see just how tight the list is, though. I'm making a bunch of constellations. I don't have any Field Blower in here. I don't even have any Bridget in here right now. I still feel like I'm running low on Pokemon sometimes. But hey, the deck is doing what it's supposed to do. I think I'm about to get 2 wins in a row with this thing against 2 pretty meta decks. So it's definitely not the worst deck I've ever played. I've definitely seen worse, but you definitely also do depend on your opponent to kind of just play into what you're doing. If they bench 4 things, you're cool. If they only bench 1 or 2, you're not so cool. Things are, things are a little more rough. 5 things. I mean, why did my opponent bench the Zorua there? And I guess they have to get a backup attacker, but oh boy, at what cost? At what cost do you need a backup attacker? Oh my goodness, that is really bad. All right, let's Brooklet Hill and see, do we have any other? See, I'm out. I mean, now I need to hit that Rescue Stretcher. That's fine. What do we got? We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Choice band. I already got the choice band. We're good to go. I got the energy right here. I can Octillery and just Abyssal for a couple things. I don't necessarily want to play my Lele yet. I'm kind of cool just not playing it. I think I will just Cynthia. I'm going to keep the Lele just in case I decide I want it later. And the Rescue Stretcher, that's what I wanted to hit. And we're just going to shuffle. We don't need it. We're going to hit the 2 Piplups and a Primplup. 2 Piplups. No, and an Empoleon is what we're going to throw in. So that way we just have some more basics to kind of buff things out. My opponent should not have any way let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 210. Yep. So we're good to go. My opponent should not have any way to knock out this thing next turn. Like, definitely not. And then we're just going to be able to seal this game away in the books with Empoleon again, back-to-back wins. I'm not even playing optimally. I'm tired. It's almost time for bed. At the home studio, that's kind of, I guess now I have the opportunity to play when I'm like extremely sleep deprived, because I kind of just felt like getting some games in before I go to work tomorrow. So that's also a thing that's going on now, which is sweet though. I mean, I like that. I like that I can just like crank out games whenever now. I just had on a whim, was like, hey, I think, probably people wanted to see the Empoleon deck tried out. I haven't had any time to play games with it yet. Duskmane Necrozma is like the main deck that I was like trying to work on from the new set. I've put a little bit of time into Garchomp, but I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I really don't like the energy flow in that deck, just needing 2 attachments. And I know that there's the other Garchomp you can play that accelerates for 1 fighting energy. I'm just not like the biggest fan. I also didn't like that there's not really an option to Guzma and Cynthia at the same turn. Of course, you can play the Lycanroc, or you can also play a counter catcher or something like that. I just wasn't really the biggest fan of that. Funny enough, I can actually win this game. If I get a water energy, I can win by bringing up the Tapu Lele and pecking it to death. I can peck the Lele to death with this Piplup here. That would be really cool, and if I do get the necessary cards, I will do that. But oh no, it looks like my opponent is just going to knock out my Octillery. How sad. But it is okay, because I have game right here with my Empoleon. I can just knock out that Lele that I dug into on the first turn of the game. So let's just go ahead and do that. 2, 4, 6. Oh, yeah, we're beyond good. So let's take that Lele. And good game to my opponent's total command for knockout. We got there again with Empoleon. I'm pretty impressed with the whole Empoleon thing. Like, not bad. Not a bad showing. Definitely an interesting deck. Let me go ahead and show off my list right now for you guys. This is literally my first draft list. So if it's not exactly what your first draft looks like or your Empoleon deck looks like, have mercy on me, because I'm still working on this thing. I didn't look at anybody else's list. I haven't looked online. I didn't look on no forums. I didn't look at nothing. This is just straight out of the old noggin here. Just what I thought an Empoleon deck should look like, with absolutely no references and no resources. So this is what I got that I came up with in just my first couple attempts here. But it worked pretty solid. It did everything that I wanted it to. We've got the 2 Kukui in there, and you saw that there's sometimes where the Kukui matters. And the reason why I think you either need to play Kukui, or you need to play Pokepuff, or you need to play something that allows you to manipulate your damage output, that, or it just makes it too easy for your opponent to just predict what you're capable of doing. And you don't want to ever play a deck where your opponent just knows like exactly what, that they can control exactly how much damage you can do. You really don't want to pigeonhole yourself into a corner like that. So the Kukuis help you get around that by giving you a little bit of 20 boost here and there, because your opponent will usually try to just bench just 1 short of what you need for a knockout. So the Kukui helps you kind of get over that barrier pretty nicely. Choice band's obviously pretty important, because your opponent's going to try and limit your damage output, so you need some ways to kind of boost it yourself. Just the 2-1 Octillery line. I started with a 2-2 line, but had to make some trim somewhere, because obviously there is just not a ton of space in this deck. But anyways, thank you all for watching the video. Let me know, what do you guys think of Empoleon in the comments below. Make sure to like the video, sub the channel, check me out on Twitter at EnjoyFriend. Peace.